The first part of the Treasures of Area Zero DLC just came out. Part 1, the Teal mask. We are told to meet with Jack at the Academy, where we meet Mrs. Breyer, teacher at the Blueberry Academy in Unova. We've been selected to take part in a joint school trip with them to Kitakami, where the same energy present in Paldea's terrestrial phenomenon has been detected. We get the idea that Breyer is extremely curious about terrestrialization, as she insists about getting to visit the Paldea crater. We learn she will be the chaperone for the trip. Anyway, we update the Pokédex to include the Kitakami region entries, and go say bye to my mom. Oh, well, guess not. What do you mean you already cleared things with my mom? Before we set out, Breyer asks if I know of the Violet book. I don't trust her, so I lie and I say no. She reveals to be a descendant of Heath, the author of the Violet book, and she has the original manuscript with exclusive pages. Breyer reads to us about a mysterious disc Pokemon, Terrapagos, whose body is suspected to be the cause for terrestrialization. The reason why she's so interested in visiting Area Zero is to find Terrapagos and prove her ancestors' records true. We're joined by 3 other students for the trip, kind of low budget for such prestigious academies. None of them are important. The intro rolls out and we skip to our arrival to the land of Kitakami. I'm tasked to run to Mosui town up ahead and let the community center caretaker know we're here. Before doing so, I'm checking out the map and catch some of the local Pokemon that are not found in Paldea. Oh, and it seems I'm not allowed to ride on my ride-on yet. I reach the town and instantly run into a couple of local kids, brother and sister, Kieran and Carmine. Carmine says I need to battle her if I want to come into Mosui, and I gladly accept the challenge. I can't really call it a challenge though. She sends out Puchiena,
I'm in danger!
Poltergeist, the Kitakami regional form of Polstegeist, and Vulpix, all at level 60. The community center caretaker shows up after the battle and the 2 flee. Breyer and the other students catch up, and we settle in the community center. We rest for the night, and the next morning, we all gather outside for instructions. The 2 we met yesterday are also students from Blueberry Academy, and they will be joining us for activities. We are paired up and tasked with finding 3 signboards located around Kitakami, depicting an old folktale from the region. We get the Roto Stick for selfies, and get paired up with Kieran, the shy brother. We also agree to battle him. But again, what can his team composed of level 60 Sentret and Yamma do against my Mewtwo? Kieran advises we start with the signboard at Loyalty Plaza, and we take off. I take the time to catch a few Pokemon to fill the Pokédex and go up Apple Hill. I meet Onair and Billy there, and get challenged to a battle. Onair is the president of Paldea Realty and promises good money if I win. Her level 65 Persian isn't a problem, and after giving me about $35,000, the couple hits the road back to Paldea, where you can challenge them again. Beating them 7 times will reward you with around 1 million, an emote, and a phone case. I keep going up Apple Hill, getting rid of the local trainers, and reach the first signboard. The folktale talks about a fearsome ogre who lived in the mountain behind the village and scared everyone. One day, as the ogre came and stirred up trouble in the village, 3 Pokemon, Okidogi, Monkidori, and Pheasantipiti, died defending the place and sent the ogre back to the mountain. The village called them the Loyal 3, and they were given Loyalty Plaza as a proper burial monument. We take the picture with Kieran, who also says the ogre sounds kinda cool, and we can now ride Miraidon around. Next signboard is at Kitakami Hall, on the other side of Mosui town. Again, on the road, I catch some new Pokemon, but I'm not gonna start saying that every time, since this first part of the DLC adds 100 new Pokédex entries. I meet a guy who makes chairs, and reach Kitakami Hall. Apparently, a festival is about to take place soon here, and we reunite with Kieran at the second signboard. The folk tale continues on about the ogre legend. The ogre had 4 masks that granted different powers. After the battle against the Loyal 3, 3 of the ogre's masks got damaged, greatly weakening it. Kieran, again, talks about how cool and strong the ogre seemed, and we take the second pick. Kieran shows us the path towards Oni Mountain, and we agree to check out the dreaded den, which is supposed to be the ogre's home. I do some climbing and meet our new friend there. He's been here a lot and never got to see the ogre. Thinking a mighty battle might make the ogre want to show up, Kieran challenges me again. This time, he has a level 62 Ferret and a level 66 Poliwhirl. We defeat him again, and he tells us a bit about his school, Blueberry Academy. It's a place that specializes in battle, and he says he could aim to be the best trainer there if he was as strong as me. As we get inside a small cave, a strange silhouette walks away. It's almost sundown, and at Kitakami Hall, the first day of the Festival of Masks is about to start. We agree to check it out together and swing by his house first to dress properly before going. We jump down the mountain back towards town and meet with Kieran's grandparents. They help me get ready for the festival, and I get to wear a djembe. I also get an upgrade for the Paldean shops. They will have more choices now. Carmine shows up, and before going to the festival together, we go check the shed for masks. Unfortunately, there are only 2 masks, and Carmine challenges me to a battle. She has a level 62 Morpeko with Focus Sash, level 64 Sinistra, level 63 Swadloon, and level 63 Mighty Yena. We make it to the festival with our new friends and catch a glimpse of the silhouette we saw at the Dreaded Den. We eat a candy apple, meet mask-wearing people, and destroy Carmine's high score at Ogre Austin. It's a minigame where you ride my Ride-On around, pop balloons in 4 different colors, and collect berries inside them. Then you have to place the target number of berries on matching tables to win. There's also gonna be Pokemon trying to eat at the table you have to scare off. It's not hard and not particularly fun, but at least the rewards are pretty decent. The XP charm, money, mints, etc. You can also get a shiny Munchlax if you complete the hard mode. My character sees the ogre and we decide to follow it. Carmine joins me, and apparently, because of the mask, we believe it's a kid, the ogre starts fleeing and drops his mask. As we try giving it back, it runs away since its disguise is compromised. We put the Teal mask in our bag and finally realized that was the Folktale's very ogre we just met. Kieran arrives just a moment later, and Carmine makes me swear not to say anything to him. Knowing he missed the chance to meet the ogre would make him very sad and feel left out. We decide to call it a night and get some sleep at the community center. In the morning, Carmine insists about not saying a word of what happened to Kieran, as well as meeting with Grandpa at their house, to figure out the Teal mask's deal. We get there, but Kieran is here too, and to avoid involving him into the story, Carmine makes him go away. He doesn't take it well and runs away. Anyway, we now can show the mask to Grandpa, and in disbelief, he immediately recognizes the ogre's possession. Grandpa then decides to reveal what really happened and tells us the truth about Ogerpon's folktale. He also insists about keeping his secret from the rest of the village. The story goes like this. A long time ago, a man and an ogre came to Kitakami. The village was scared of them and refused them hospitality, so they settled in a cave on the mountain. Only the village mask maker helped them by giving them masks to blend in and mingle with the people. The two started to visit the festival and got many compliments because of their beautiful masks. Masks so brilliant, rumors of them quickly spread far and wide. Attracted by the valuable masks, a group of 3 greedy Pokemon soon came to Kitakami, sneaked into the cave, and made off with the masks. While the ogre was away, the man died protecting the masks, but could only save one. When the ogre came back and saw what happened, he put on the remaining mask and made his way to town. It found and defeated the greedy Pokemon, and at the same time, scared the villagers. The villagers thought the 3 Pokemon died protecting the village and started honoring their sacrifice, calling them the Loyal 3. Wounded and alone, the ogre went back to hide in the mountains. Fearing the villagers would get angry to anyone who would dishonor the tale, the truth has been silenced, as the mask maker, the family's ancestor, when he tried to convince the others of their mistake, was persecuted as a heretic. Grandpa notices the mask's jewel is chipped, and we should leave it to him to fix it. Simultaneously, we witness that Kieran was listening to the whole thing all along, before leaving. As we wait for Grandpa, we check on Kieran and make our way towards signboard number 3, in the Paradise Barrens. We also get to see his disappointment knowing we lied to him. We reach our destination and find the 3rd signboard. Kieran asks to battle, and we face his level 64 Yanma, level 64 Furret, level 66 Poliwrath, and level 67 Diplin, literally a candy apple. The last signboard reminds people to wear masks because if you cross the ogre, he would take your soul. Kieran says he doesn't really like this sign and hates knowing that the villagers treated the ogre like an outcast just because they were scared of him. By the way, I just realized this is basically the plot of The Grinch, even though I know the story took inspiration from the tale of Momotaro, a popular hero of Japanese folklore. We take the last photo and we're done with the assignment. Time to rest at the community center again and call it a day. The next day, we go check on Carmine and Grandpa. The mask can't be fixed without a crystal cluster from the crystal pool on top of Oni Mountain. We briefly see Kieran, but he seems super depressed and left out, and he pretty much ignores us. I climb to the very top of the mountain and find the pool. Carmine and I investigate, as she's telling me about the magic properties of this water. And we get interrupted by an earthquake. A Milotic jumps out of the pool and attacks us. We team up and manage to easily defeat it, leaving a crystal cluster behind for us to bring Grandpa. Out of nowhere, Mrs. Breyer appears too and gets excited from those crystals at the bottom of the pool. She says she was out here doing field research and found out the crystal pool's waters emit energy of the same wavelength as terrestrial energy. She says this will help her project of stabilizing the terrestrial phenomenon in other regions. We leave her to it and get back to Grandpa. Bad news though. We learn Kieran took off with the mask and we go after him at Loyalty Plaza. When we find Kieran in front of the monument, he confronts us about lying to him and compares us to the Loyal 3 and the villagers. He's really mad and challenges me yet again. Winner gets to keep the mask. Unfortunately for him, there's just no way he can win with his level 68 Yanmega, level 66 Gligar, level 65 Cramorant. Is that his new form? How are you all okay with this? That's one way to do it. Level 71 Poliwrath and level 69 Diplin. Upon losing, Kieran punches the monument and we retrieve the mask. A loud noise comes from the Loyal 3 monument as a giant beam of light surges from the ground. The 3 greedy Pokemon from the legend came back to life. Okidogi, based on the dog, Fezandipiti, based on the pheasant, and Munkidori, based on Mr. Maki from South Park. Okay. I suspect that the crystal cluster from the magic pool somewhat had something to do with their resurrection. They run off towards Kitakami Hall and we chase after them. Unfortunately, we're too late. The Loyal 3 collected the masks they kept in the hall. The villagers gladly gave them away, as well as feeding them. They then went on to climb Oni Mountain, probably to confront the ogre. Worried about Ogerpon, I give the mask and the crystal to Carmine so she can give it to Grandpa, then rush towards the dreaded den and find the trio already bullying the poor Ogerpon. I intervene and Munkidori level 70 tries to stop me, but gives up. Kieran and Carmine join, and as we get ready for a full-on 3v3 battle, the foes just run away. Kieran apologizes for his behavior, and we meet Ogerpon again. It's happy to reunite with its mask, and we decide to chase the so-called Loyal 3 and retrieve the other 3 masks they stole, thus forming the Mask Retrieval Squad. Carmine says we should start by gathering information about the Loyal 3 whereabouts at Mosui Town, and we take off. Oh, and Ogerpon is following me now. Upon reaching the village though, it refuses to tag along and decides to wait for us near the bridge. We ask around to see if the villagers know anything, and manage to figure out each foe's location. As we do that, I also cross paths with Perrin and her Growlithe. She's a photographer who says once I'm done with whatever I'm doing, I should come back to her once I get 150 entries in the new Pokédex. Basically, once you're done with the story, you can do this photography service side quest and catch a unique Blood Moon or Saluna. Anyway, we reunite with the Mask Retrieval Squad, and thanks to the information we gathered, we know exactly where to look. Kieran says he's got things to do and refuses to join as we follow the Mask's thieves' traces. First on the list is Munkidori. He became super big for some reason and took a titanic form. Carmine and I team up again and defeat him. He goes back to his normal size and flees again. It seems I can't catch them yet, but at least we retrieve the Wellspring Mask. We find a very low FPS Okidogi in the Paradise Barrens. Exactly like Munkidori, he's gigantic, but it doesn't stop the squad from taking it down and retrieve the Cornerstone Mask. Last on the list is Fezandipiti. It makes us chase after it through a cave, and again, we confront him in order to get Ogerpon's prized possessions back. We also managed to win and retrieve the Heartflame Mask as well. Mission accomplished. As we got all the masks back, Kieran joins and wants us to bring Ogerpon to the village. He promises everything will be okay, and even though Carmine is a bit worried, we agree to his plan. As expected, Ogerpon is nervous about following us to meet the villagers, but Kieran manages to convince it. To our general surprise, the villagers apologize to Ogerpon. It seems Kieran ran around, letting everyone know the truth about the village old folktale. Ogerpon doesn't need to hide anymore and can visit the town anytime it wants. Now that everything ends well, we take Ogerpon back to his home. As we're about to leave him, Ogerpon actually runs towards us, and it seems he wants to go with me. Kieran disagrees and challenges me yet again, saying whoever wins this one gets Ogerpon. This makes absolutely zero sense, and it's kind of a weird way to end it. Also, not a good reason to fight at all, but so be it. We take on Kieran's level 71 Shiftry, level 72 Yanmega, level 76 Gliscor, level 71 Probopass, level 72 Diplin, and level 72 Poliwrath. Upon losing for the 5th time, Kieran falls to his knees and apologizes. Now it's Ogerpon's turn to battle me and test my strength, so it knows for sure if he wants to come along. We get a nice Terra fight against Ogerpon, and it's 4 different types: fire, water, rock, and grass. I catch it with a matching friend ball and officially add it to the team. I also put the 3 masks to change its type in my bag. Kieran acts all depressed again and runs away crying. The next day, we meet with Carmine at the destroyed monument of Loyalty Plaza. She tells us Kieran locked himself in his room and refuses to come out. She then asks me if I would battle her with Ogerpon, and I agree. But first, I gotta prepare it. Here's how I built Ogerpon. Changed his nature for Jolly, boosted his physical attack and speed stats with 26 protein and 26 carbos, and 1 HP up to complete it. I gave it the Heartflame Mask for the Fire Terra type, and gave it a bunch of XP candy to level up a bit. Finally, the moveset goes like this: Wood Hammer, Ivy Cut Gel, Knock Off, and Spiky Shield. I go back to Carmine and accept the challenge. Ogerpon is actually super strong, and a fun addition to the team. We terrastalize and defeat her level 70 Mightyena, level 74 Sinistcha, level 71 Morpeko, level 72 Leavanny, and level 72 Ninetales. We get complimented for our skills, and get a call from Mrs. Breyer telling us to head back to the community center. The caretaker gifts me the Kitakami mochi set and congratulates our efforts. Mrs. Breyer adds that Carmine, Kieran, and herself are returning to Blueberry University a bit early, so this is goodbye for now. Carmine gives a wholesome speech about being glad letting foreigners visit their hometown and makes me promise to visit Blueberry Academy soon. We wrap up the school trip by thanking the caretaker, and we witness Kieran in his room, crying, but determined to become much stronger. And that's it, but I still have some unfinished business though. Indeed, I still need to catch the Loyal 3, and they are not letting me do that easily. First, Monkidori, Poison Psychic. Then Okidogi, Poison Fighting. And last, Fezandipiti, Poison Fairy. To be honest, I didn't really know what to expect from this first DLC. I enjoyed Scarlet and Violet better than Sword and Shield, but it still felt like not much effort was poured into the game. This DLC though, I thoroughly enjoyed. The story based on some actual Japanese folktale was interesting. The characters had decent writing, and suspense is present, as we know that part 2 of the DLC, the Indigo Disc, is taking place at the Blueberry Academy. We'll definitely get to see Carmine and Kieran again. The latter might even become a villain or something. Also, I feel like something's not right with Mrs. Breyer, and I definitely don't trust her yet. I also think Ogerpon is awesome. I genuinely like its design and moveset. I'm gladly adding it to the team. As for the Loyal 3, although I'm not a huge fan of their design, they fit really well into the story, and I ended up liking them more than I thought. Now, I'm just gonna take my time to complete the Kitakami decks while we wait for part 2 to drop at the end of the year. Alright, that's it for the Teal mask in short, and a quick review. It was a pleasant comeback to the game, and I'm definitely excited to see what's next. Sub and leave a like if you want, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye!